If you are already researching surrogacy agencies, stop. You might be making a mistake that could add a full year or more to your surrogacy. I've seen it happen hundreds of times and nobody warns you about it until it's too late. So I'm going to show you what to do first so it doesn't happen to you. I'm Adrienne Black, 4-time, now retired surrogate, agency owner and sitting president of SEEDS, the organization setting ethical standards for surrogacy. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and the pattern has become very clear. Intended parents who have the smoothest journeys are not the ones who found the best agency or the fastest match. They are the ones who took care of a few critical things before they ever even spoke to an agency. So let's talk about what those things actually are. Number 1, be honest about where you are emotionally. I was talking with a couple just the other day, and they'd been through multiple losses, and they knew they could not go through another one. So they dove straight into agency research. They did all the interviews, the comparisons, they were in the review groups, the whole thing. And then one of them said to me, I just needed to do something, anything, so that I could feel like I was moving forward. Look, I get it. When you have been through what so many of you have been through, doing nothing feels impossible. Every day that you're not moving forward feels like a day that has been wasted. But here's what I've learned. Surrogacy will surface every unresolved feeling that you have ever had. You're asking another woman to carry your baby, and you are entering into a relationship with your surrogate, and there's no guidebook for how to have that relationship. And you are giving up control over something that has become the most important thing in your life. So before you start calling agencies, ask yourself honestly, have I actually processed what brought me here? Am I at peace with this path? Not just resigned to it, but genuinely okay with it. There's no right answer on timing. Some people know immediately, others need months to feel comfortable. But if you skip this part, it does show up later and often at the worst possible time. One intended mother that I worked with spent 6 months in therapy before starting her surrogacy. She told me afterward how it changed everything for her, how she connected with her surrogate, how she handled the hard moments, all of it. That's not lost time. It was the absolute smartest investment she could have made. Number 2, get your medical house in order. And this one catches people off guard more than you would think. I cannot tell you how many times I have talked with intended parents who are knee-deep in agency interviews, and then when I ask them about their embryos or their clinic, there's this pause. Wait, we need to have that figured out first? Yes, yes you do. Before you evaluate agencies, you need to know where you stand medically. That means, have you chosen a fertility clinic? Do you have embryos already, or do you need to create them? Will you use your own genetic material, or do you need a donor? And what is the timeline for that? Here's why this matters. Sometimes the process of choosing a clinic and creating embryos takes longer than you would expect. And interviewing agencies before you even know if your clinic is familiar with surrogacy, or before you actually have embryos, can make your surrogacy process longer. Get this in place first. Trust me, it saves a lot of wasted effort. If you are finding this helpful and you want a full roadmap for everything that we are covering today, I've put together a program called Step into Surrogacy. The link is in the description. But let's keep going because the next two pieces are just as important. So number 3, build your support system before you need it. Here's something that I've noticed over the last 20 years. The intended parents who do best almost never do this alone. I worked with a couple just a little while back who did something really smart. Before they ever reached out to an agency, they sat down with their close friends and family, and they had real conversations about what they were planning. And they also found a therapist who actually understood surrogacy. They built their support team first. This isn't a nice to have. It is absolutely essential. Surrogacy takes a long time, usually 18 to 24 months, sometimes even longer. And during that time, there will be great moments, but there will also be hard ones. And you will be waiting, and you will feel uncertainty. And things are definitely going to go other than you planned. You need people who can be excited with you and people who can also just sit with you when it is tough. If you don't have that circle yet, start building it now. Get a therapist who knows this world. Get a support group of other intended parents. Bring in your friends and family who are willing to learn and to support you, because you are going to need them. And it is better to have them in place before you're in the middle of it. Number 4, know the real numbers. So let's talk money. And I'm going to be really straight with you. Most intended parents that I meet have done some research. They know the big ticket items like embryo creation or the surrogate compensation and agency fees. But they haven't mapped out the whole picture. Insurance, which can be surprisingly complicated, legal fees, travel, and a cushion for the unexpected, because there is almost always something unexpected. A gestational surrogacy in the US typically costs somewhere between $180,000 and $250,000. That's a wide range because a lot of factors come into play. But the point is, this is a major financial commitment, and you need to understand the full scope before you start. I'm not telling you this to scare you off. I'm telling you because financial clarity is freedom. When you know what you're working with, you're not stressing mid-surrogacy about costs you didn't see coming. You can actually focus on what matters, your relationship with your surrogate and preparing for baby. Get clear on the numbers now. It makes everything easier. So let's bring this all together. Before you start interviewing agencies, take care of these 4 things. Number 1, check in emotionally. Make sure you have actually processed what brought you here and that you are genuinely ready. Number 2, get your medical foundation set. Clinics, embryos, timeline, know exactly where you stand. Number 3, build your support system now. Therapist, support group, trusted people in your corner. And number 4, understand the full financial picture, not just the big costs, all of it. This isn't about slowing you down. It's about making sure that when you do start, you're starting on solid ground.